Now that we have listened to our story about the city and we've learned about James Rizzi and the cities that he drew, we are going to be creating our own city. Now, when we draw a picture of a city, we call it a cityscape, just like we learned by looking at painting a few seconds ago. So we are going to be creating our cityscape, and our city is going to look like a James Rizzi city. So our buildings are going to be bright and colorful, and they're going to have these adorable faces. And we also have a sun and a moon in the sky at the same time. So get your pencils and let's get started. Now, we're only going to put 4 buildings in our picture today. So we're going to start over here on the left side, and we're going to draw a building that's about 4 fingers, maybe 5 fingers wide. So you start in the middle and you draw a line, and again it's about 4 or 5 fingers across, and then we come straight down, and that's building number 1. Now our next building is going to be tall and skinny. So I'm going to start here at the corner, and I'm not going to come all the way up to the top because I need to leave room for the decorations at the top. But I'm going to come up a little bit, and I'm going to come over, and this one's going to be tall and skinny. So it only comes over maybe about 3 fingers, and then I bring it all the way down. Now, do these buildings need to be straight? Absolutely not. They are ish buildings, city-ish. Okay, now our next building, again, is going to be about 4 or 5 fingers, about the width of your hand wide, but it's going to be a little bit taller than our first building. So I'm going to start somewhere up here near the top, and I'm going to come over about the width of my hand, and then I come straight down. So I'm just drawing 4 rectangles. This one's short and wide, this one's tall and skinny, this one's kind of tall and wide, and then I've got one more that's going to be short and wide. So this one is the easiest building to draw because we only have to draw 1 line. So I want this to be my shortest one. So right now this is my shortest building, so I'm going to come down a little bit. I'm just going to draw a line straight over to the edge of my paper, and now I have my last building. Very cool. Very easy. 4 rectangles all right beside each other, and now I have 4 buildings. Okay, now we're going to draw the roof decorations on all of our buildings. So we're going to start with the last one we did. Now, to draw a triangle, we're going to look at this line right here. So I'm going to find the middle, and I'm going to come up and make a dot. So you see how I found the middle, and then I came up and made a dot. And then from my dot, I'm going to draw a diagonal line down to each corner. So diagonal and diagonal. And then on top of my roof, I'm going to add a circle. And then inside of my roof, I'm going to make those wavy lines like we did on our color wheel turtle a while ago. So those wave lines, those curvy wave lines, I'm just going to add 2 just to make it look interesting. Okay, now our next building over, he has just got some triangles across the top. So I'm not going to try to measure these out like I did this one because it doesn't matter if they're all the same size. I'm just going to start drawing some triangles on top. And it doesn't matter. Like this one I have 5. I'm probably going to get more on this one. Maybe I'll only get 5. I don't know, maybe I can fit 6. We'll see. Oh, I'm going to be able to get 6, but that last one's going to be kind of skinny. Do they have to look perfect? Absolutely not. They do not have to look all the same at all. Ish drawings. Remember, these are ish drawings. So we're just going to add some triangles, some zigzag triangles on top of that building. Okay, now the tall, skinny building. Hers kind of looks like the top of a cake. So all I'm going to do is draw a rectangle on top of this building. And I want it to be a little bit shorter or a little bit more narrow than the building. So I'm going to come in a little bit, go up, over, and back down. Drawing just a little rectangle. Now the rectangle that goes on top of this one is going to be even smaller. So I want to make this one smaller. And now it kind of looks like the top of a wedding cake. Okay, now this building, I'm going to make 2 dots up top. I'm going to make 2 dots up top. Kind of looks like its eyes with a kind of like just a neutral face, not a smiley face or a frowny face, just kind of like a, oh, I'm here face. That's what that kind of looks like. So then I'm going to draw, between these 2 dots, I'm going to make the letter V. So I'm going to start with the letter V. So start with the letter V. And then from my dots, I'm going to make a diagonal line over to the right corner. So now I've got 1 triangle. And then from my other dot, I go down to the other corner. So now I've got 2 triangles on top. Okay, so now it's time to add our faces, our windows, and our doors. So this time we're going to start over here on this building. I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to make 2 square windows. 2 squares. I come down, go over, back up, and connect across. Start with 2 squares. Okay, now to get his eyes to look like this, watch what I'm doing really carefully. Everybody stop and watch. I'm going to draw a line across the middle. Okay, so I drew a line across the middle. And then just in the bottom, I'm going to draw a line down in the middle. Okay, so it kind of looks like I've got a capital letter T in the middle of my square. So I'm going to show you that again. I've got my square, draw a line across the middle, and just in the bottom half, that bottom rectangle, divide that into 2 squares. So I've got a rectangle, and then right under it I have 2 squares. And then when we get our markers out, we'll color in this bottom right square on each one, and that will give him his eyes. Now, if your eyes, if you drew them different, is that okay? Absolutely. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine, but I'm just showing you how I drew my picture. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a square nose. And then I'm going to start with a smiley face under my nose. And then we'll draw another smiley face under that. And then on each side, so this kind of looks like a banana, doesn't it? Looks like a banana. And then I'm going to add 2 little smiley faces to the edges for his cheeks. And then I'm going to give him some teeth. So I'm going to draw a smiley face in the middle. And then I'm going to draw some lines up top and some lines down the bottom. And I don't want them to touch. I want them kind of, kind of set like bricks. I'm going to kind of look like bricks. And then if you have room underneath his smile, we're going to add some rectangle doors. And don't forget to add your dots for your doorknobs so people can get into your smiley face building. Okay, now for our tall, skinny building, to do her eyes, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by drawing two lines, two little short lines, and then I draw a curve over top of each one, like a big frowny face or an upside down U. And then we're going to give her brownie face eyebrows. And then in the corners of her eyes, I'm going to draw some curved lines, and we'll color those in with the black. So it looks like everyone's kind of looking over to the right in our picture. Don't know what they're looking at, but they're looking over to the right. Now, for her nose, watch how I do this. I'm going to curve to the left, kind of like a crooked smile, and then I draw a little smiley face under it. And that gives her that cute little nose. And then I'm going to give her a smiley face. And again, add those little smiley faces on for her cheeks. Okay, now to do her lips, watch what I do carefully. I'm going to draw two rainbow lines on top, two rainbow lines, and then I'm going to draw a smile underneath, and there are her little lips. And to do her doors and windows, I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to give her one rectangle door with a doorknob. And then when I draw this first window, I'm going to make a square. And then I draw a line down through the middle and across the middle, like a plus sign. And that makes a window. And then I'm going to add some more. I was able to fit 6 more on this picture. I don't know how many I'm going to fit on this one, but I'm going to draw my squares. Line down like a 1, line over like a capital L, line up like a U, and across. And then I go down the middle, across the middle, down the middle, across the middle. And that gives me my windows. So add in some windows to your building. Doesn't matter how many you have. You can draw as many as you like or as few as you like. But I'm going to be able to fit 6 again above my door, because this building is tall and skinny. And my windows don't have to look perfect. They don't need to be perfect. Okay, now for my next window, this one kind of looks like a cat, which is really cool. So the eyes on this one are going to look like footballs. So I start with a rainbow, and then I draw a smile underneath. Start with a rainbow, draw a smile underneath. And then I want to draw a sideways frowny line in each corner. Sideways frowny line in each corner. Makes our eyes look like they're looking over to the right. And then this one needs some eyebrows, or eyelashes rather, sorry, eyelashes. So I'm going to draw 3 little rainbow lines going to the right. And on the left eye, 3 little rainbow lines going to the left. Now this little guy is going to have a triangle nose. So upside down V and connect at the bottom. That's a triangle. Then I'm going to draw my smiley face underneath, with 2 little smiley faces on the edge for the cheeks. And then I need to go back and add in my whiskers. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 little whiskers on each side. Kind of makes it look like a kitty cat. Now down at the bottom, I am going to draw 2 rectangle doors. So I'm going to make a big rectangle, draw a line down the middle, and add 2 dots for doorknobs. Now the windows in this building is a long rectangle. It's as long as the building almost. Long rectangle. Then I draw a line right through the middle, across the middle, to make 2 skinny rectangles, one on top of each other. Then I'm going to draw a line down in the middle. So now I have 4 long rectangles. And then I'm going to draw 2 more lines right here. And that's going to give me 8 windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 windows. Okay, and our last building, he's got 2 long rectangle eyes. So line down like a number 1, long line over, line up, and a line across the top. Line down like a number 1, line over, line up, line across the top. And then he just has 2 little dots in the middle of his rectangles to make his eyes. Then for his nose, we're going to make a long, skinny rectangle. So I'm going to draw a long line down like a number 1, line over like a capital L, line up like a really tall letter U, and a line across the top to connect it. And then he's going to get a smiley face under his nose, but this time, instead of drawing the little smiley faces, I'm going to make little rainbow lines, little frowny faces. That's going to make his smile look a little bit different than everyone else's. And then I'm going to add 2 rectangle teeth down at the bottom. 2 little rectangle teeth. He's a cute little guy. And then he needs a little rectangle door. And then his rectangle windows, how many windows does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to draw my long, skinny rectangle. I'm going to draw a line in half. And now this time I'm only going to draw 2 lines going down. So 2 lines going down. 1, 2. And then we need to add our sun and our moon. So I'm going to put my sun over here, and I'm just going to start with a circle. Does it have to be a perfect circle? Nope. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. And then I'm just going to give him a little smiley face. 2 dots for eyes. And I'm going to do the same nose that I did for her, except I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to curve over to the right with a little smiley face. And then he gets a smiley face with 2 little smiley faces for my sun. Now my sun has a face. Okay, and then now we need to draw our moon. So I'm going to draw sideways rainbow line. And then we'll draw another little sideways rainbow line in between it. Now if I need to extend that bottom one out, that's fine. I'm going to make like a sideways moon or a banana. And then he's going to get a little dot for his eye. We're going to draw him a little triangle nose. And then we're going to give him a smiley face. And now we have a happy little moon. Okay, now this drawing took a lot longer to draw than I thought it was going to. So we're not going to have time to color it, but you guys will get to take your drawings home and you can color them, or maybe you can color them later today, depending on what your teacher has planned. But we're not going to have time to color it. But I do want to show you what I did for when you do get ready to color. One thing I did was I just didn't outline with a marker and color it in. I outlined everything with a black marker, because that's how James Rizzi did it. He outlined everything in his picture with a black marker, and then he went back and colored it. And he used those bright rainbow colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple or violet. Okay, so whenever you take your picture home, or if you have time later today, then you are going to get your black marker and you are going to outline all of your pencil lines. Every one of these pencil lines we have to outline in black. Then you get to go back with your crayons and color it in. Okay? So we got our pictures drawn and you get to color them on your own. So I hope you guys had fun making a cityscape that looks just like a James Rizzi cityscape. And until next time.